Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to take a look in our next episode of the Goodbye Windows Hello Manjaro series. We're going to look at uh, email applications and web browsers, and we'll also take a look at some PDF viewers. So the first thing, let's take a look at PDF viewers. Now, I'm going to give you a choice of four. Adobe Reader, which you may all be familiar with. This one, Document Viewer, is actually called Evince, Evince. You have Foxit Reader, and then the default for Manjaro is the QPDF View. Now, if I bring up QPDF View and I open up a file, I'm going to use my NVIDIA card manual. So this is basically, now there are some variations. You can change the view. And again, this is something that you want to play with a little bit uh, to see if you're comfortable. If you just want a simple PDF viewer, this one works fine. I've used it many times. It works fine. And you can edit the PDFs. You can annotate. So there are lots of options. It's called QPDF View. It's number one. Number two, Foxit Reader. Okay, and this is opening a something called Connected PDF. And I don't think I want to do that. Okay, so if I open up a document, and I believe it's in Documents, and there's my user guide, you will see how this Foxit Reader shows. Now you can change the size, and it brings up your table of contents, and then you can expand each of these subjects so that you can click to go to the corresponding page. Let's see. It looks like editing may be a little bit limited, but for basic viewing of PDFs, that's fine. The next one is Evince, Evince. Very basic. If I open up the document, you can see that it is very similar to Foxit Reader. Looks a little bit nicer, but again, it's a very capable PDF viewer. And you'll be able to open up, view, and deal with any PDFs that come along. Then you have Adobe Reader. Many people don't like Adobe products. This is more than likely the most polished of the four. And this Adobe Reader, there we go. Let's open the same file. And as you can see, it is a little bit more polished looking. Gives you a few more options. You can edit your PDFs, set your preferences, and it actually crashed. Let's open it again. We will open that file. and go to preferences, and there we go. So it's highly configurable. It is the most polished. Of course, Adobe is crashing again. So we're having crashing issues with Adobe Reader. My recommendation would be QPDF View. That is the default PDF viewer within Manjaro. It does the job, it's fully functional. What you'll want to do is, since none of these cost anything, just download the one that you want to try and try another one and find the one that most appeals to you. Again, most of the open source software is very subjective, so it really depends on what you feel most comfortable with. So those are 4 PDF viewers that are available to you. Now for email, let's start with Nihilus N1. That is available in Yowert under the name N1. I used to use Nihilus N1, however, it's now become a paid application. You can try it free for 30 days, and then you have to purchase a license. So based upon that, I I'm not going to be using it. You can try it if you like. As the window, it says get started. It's very nice looking. There are lots of themes available for it. However, it wants you to create an account, and then once you create the account, you'll get an email saying you can use it for 30 days. So not my cup of tea. I won't be using it, but it is available to you. Thunderbird is a Mozilla product. It is a close match and very integrated with Firefox browser. You can set up your own email address. It's going to ask you if you want a new email address. My option is always skip this and use my existing email. Then you will put in your email information, email address, and password. It will create an account for you, and then you will be able to utilize it. It is a very nice email application. It's not one that I use, only because I have a Gmail account, so I basically use my web browser to bring up my email. But this is a nice email application called Thunderbird. It's available, readily available. Matter of fact, it's installed out of the box. This is a default for Manjaro. Sylpheed. Again, this is a bare bones email application. You set it all up. It's if you select Gmail, which is normally IMAP for, but if you select Gmail, then it will plug in all of the configuration options for you, and then it's a basic email application. It's not one that I use. But if all you want is a plain vanilla email application, it's very nice. And let's close that out. So that is Sylpheed. Now, Clausemail is very nice. Again, it's a minimal email application. You would set it up the same way you would any of the others. You're going to put in your email address, your password. It will configure, and you'll have your email available to you within Clause email. And next is Evolution. Evolution started out as a substitute for Microsoft Outlook. And evolution is very nice, but some consider it buggy. I have not used it in a while, and I don't use it for email. Um, Again, as I mentioned, since I have Gmail, I use my web browser. But evolution is used by many, many people. It is the theming was very Windows oriented. It wasn't intended at the time as a substitute for Microsoft Outlook. So we're going to cancel that. Now, if I was not using my web browser for email, I would use Geary. I have used Geary in the past, and I enjoy using Geary. It sets up very easily. There is no problems with it. I didn't find it to be buggy at all. It's an attractive user interface. It's easy to understand. And if you're not using if you're not going to use your browser to pull in your email, I would recommend you give Geary a shot. It's under the name Geary. It's available through Pacman. Should have no problems installing it. So that is 6 potential email applications, along with, of course, your web option. Now, just to mention one thing, remember when we went through ICE SSB? You can set up a site-specific browser for Gmail. So you would have an icon set up through ICE SSB that would, when you click the icon, it would be the Gmail icon. When you click the icon, it would bring up your email in a dedicated browser window. That's an excellent option also, if you use Gmail. Okay, so that takes care of your email options. Now, for browsers, we're going to talk a little bit about these. Midori private browsing. Some people like it, some people don't. It's a very simplistic browser. Lately, I've heard comments that Midori has been buggy, but it is available to you if you. And again, this is subjective, so you might want to, since they're all free to try, you might as well give them a try. But Midori is your first option. And I'm not ranking these. I will tell you the ones that I use, but Midori is an option for you. SeaMonkey is a open source Mozilla type browser. It's in the Firefox family. Pale Moon is in the Firefox family. I happen to like Pale Moon. It's got a nice interface. I'll show you that. And what I like about it is if you take a look at if I add another tab in my preferences tabs, let's see, we can get the start page. We have an option for a blank page, the Pale Moon start page, or the quick dial page. The blank page is what you were looking at right here. If I go to the start page and I open up a new tab, you can see that it opens up with a lot of links to commonly used websites, which I think is really nice. Now you can change your search engine as you can with most of these options, but Pale Moon, I think, from an aesthetics standpoint and an interface standpoint, I like what they've done with their start page. Now you can also, if you go back into preferences, you can change that to the quick dial page, and then if you add, you will get a quick dial. Now you can add multiple quick dials. So if you set these up for your most frequent frequently used websites, then it's just a matter of clicking on those. So it is very nice interface, aesthetics, user experience, and the start page is very very nice, and that's Pale Moon. And that's also related to the it's of the Mozilla Firefox variety. Cupzilla, some people swear by it. I don't use it, but it has a following. Again, you can change your search. It's really up to you. It's highly configurable, as most of these are. Cupzilla is on the lower echelon of browsers. Um, Opera is one that many people use. Um, the new version is very very nice. As you can see, it's aesthetically it has a nice interface. Again, this quick start speed dial, you can add as many sites as you want, and these are your most frequently used websites. Opera is a very nice browser. I do not use it. I'll tell you the ones that I use and why I use them. But again, I would experiment. Take a look at these. Pick the one you want and then delete or uninstall the ones that you decide against. Let's go up to Chromium, Firefox, and Google Chrome. I don't use Firefox. There, you can't stream video on Netflix or Hulu without going through a lot of configuration options. Now, they do say that the new version that's coming out in the next week or two may be able to stream video out of the box. I'll wait and see that. The ones I use all the time are Vivaldi and Chrome. Vivaldi and Chrome can stream Amazon Prime, Hulu, and Netflix out of the box. No changes to configuration needed. They're two terrific browsers in my opinion. Just try them and pick the one that you feel most comfortable with. Chromium is an open source version of Chrome. In order to stream video in Chromium, you have to add Chromium Widevine, and that's Chromium-Widevine, Widevine. It's available under Yowert. And I will bring it up so you can take a look at the spelling. So you will need, if you want to stream premium video content on Chromium, you will need to have Chromium Widevine installed. As you can see, I do have it installed. Now, if I open Chromium, you will see that I should be able to stream previously on damages. As you can see, I would be able to stream video on Chromium. Now, Vivaldi, you can theme it. I have changed the out-of-the-box theming. This is the theming for that I have for Vivaldi. You can mess with the interface, the colors, the tabs. Vivaldi is a very nice browser. Again, it depends on what you're comfortable with. I prefer the interface of Chrome or Chromium. It depends on what you like and what you like using. I prefer Chrome. I pull up my Gmail. As you can see, I have Gmail in the bookmarks menu, and it's very easy to pull up the email and deal with the email in the Chrome browser. And so those are your options for browsers. My choices are Google Chrome, Chromium, and Vivaldi, and with a honorable mention going over to Pale Moon. So you've got a lot of things to play with and experiment with. None of it costs you anything. And so you might want to just take a look at all of them and decide which one you prefer as you move forward in your Linux experience. Hopefully, you have found the courage to give Linux a try. Again, you don't have to give up Windows right off the bat. You may want to keep Windows around just to deal with certain games or certain applications like Photoshop and things like that. And that's all well and good. If you can use Linux 90% of the time, then let's face it, that means your exposure to malware and viruses has been reduced by 90%. So it's a lot of fun. I've got maybe one or two videos left in this series. I hope you're enjoying the series. Uh, and so over the next uh, few days, I will be posting another video, and it's gaming. I'm going to do a video on gaming, showing you how to set up your Linux computer with some games, some internet based games, and some hard drive installed games like Steam, Battle.net, things like that. So I hope you're enjoying the series. Thank you for stopping by the channel. Please rate, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you soon. Take care.